clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over the top. Custom sets, landscapes, got a shop. Tunes drop, make the hobby pop. From vintage sets to modern themes, minifig dreams with studs and seams. Castle walls, spaceship beams. Listen close, hear the gear screams. Connecting fans, yo, that's the plan. Building bonds piece by piece, man. Every episode more than just sand. Confidence grand, bricks in hand.
What is up? What is up? What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good. How about you?
I'm here building this lovely cart still.
I don't have anything to work on tonight. I'm kind of lost.
Man, do you want to come sort pieces for me?
No. I am not a sorter.
That's my specialty.
Hey George, you can come pick something out of that closet so we can actually shut the door.
That's a good problem to have, Gene.
I got a shelf down here full of stuff that I don't know what I'm doing with.
Yeah. I've got a upstairs bathroom packed full of unopened sets. So
What are you waiting on?
I don't want to open them. I'm hoping I can sell them to Caden in a couple of years.
Yeah, at the rate you're going, Caden will be interested in them. Give him 5 or 6 years,
Right.
and Caden will buy them. We found out that last Wednesday when we got off that between me and Caden, we pretty much want George's entire bat stock, I guess you want to say, dead stock, whatever he's not using.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff up here collecting dust that may get pawned off on somebody here before long, considering what the prices I can get for them.
Well, at least if they go to Caden, he's going to do something with them and be a good guy.
Yeah, that is promising. At least I know they'll go to a good home.
Now that we're here, we do have a special guest coming on, but we cannot wait for him. We have to keep the show rolling. Let's do it.
You're behind.
Attack dogs at work.
I'm not behind.
So let's see. We got a guy named George Hicks in the chat.
That guy.
There
True
wasn't
Squadron says, "What's up, boys?"
What is up, Kennedy? How is it going?
Justin Morrison says, "Hi, everyone." And David C. Krause, hey, all. How's everyone? Cajun A-Pole.
Hey, by the way,
everybody.
we all have a well, I'm not going to say we all because y'all might not take my back. I kind of have a bone to pick with Cajun A-Fall. I'm not going to lie. He said that last week he didn't watch the show live, so if everyone that hasn't watched the show, this might sound a little foreign to you. But he said that Goonies isn't a good movie.
Do we know his address?
Do y'all have his address? George left. Way to go, Cajun. You made George leave. Do we have his address? Did he ever place an order from you?
I don't know.
How can you say Goonies is not a good movie?
He said Top Gun is a good movie, which...
Okay, he's back in my good graces.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Based on those two movies, I want to hear other examples of what he thinks are good and bad.
Well, John, I wasn't watching it live last week, so we watched it over the weekend. And when you said Top Gun was not a good movie, whoo, she's like, lucky I wasn't there. I'd have come upstairs and gave him a piece of my mind. I'm like, okay.
EMS said you're right. It's not a good movie. It's a great movie. And it's K today said he's headed to get his pitchforks now. Cajun A-Fall, it's all right, man. Look, there's probably worse stuff out there that we could hate you for. If that's the only thing that you're bringing into the table that we don't like you for, you're all right.
And at least you've also seen Goonies, so
that is very true.
Caden
Caden doesn't even know that movie existed. So, which, George, you got to think, if you took your age minus my age, I still think that's younger than Caden or older than Caden.
Yes, definitely. I don't know. What's he, mid-20s maybe?
It's got to be. Which I'm not that much older, so don't get me wrong.
Early 20s.
He's 14 according to the thumbnail picture.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Andrew said Top Gun 2 was a good movie.
Mm-hmm. It was.
It was all right. I'm not saying they're bad movies. I'm just saying they're not what they're hyped up to be.
They're not ones that you would watch over and over again.
I mean, I've seen Top Gun quite a bit, but the thing is I think that people like Top Gun just because of the jet scenes in it.
EMS wants to see the truffle shuffle.
You have
gotta do it.
You have to go to my other page and pay to see that. Me and George, we talked about this.
Yeah. Oh, True Squadron, Top Gun Maverick. It was a good movie. We saw it in theaters when it first came out, and I bet I've probably watched it 8 or 9 times since then. But it's pretty predictable. So
you want to know what I started watching again with Haley tonight?
Return of the Sith.
That old documentary, boy.
I'm pretty excited about the 2 episodes tomorrow night.
I know.
What documentary?
You won't
Dale
like
Earnhardt.
it. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
What is it?
The documentary about Dale Earnhardt. It came out on Prime.
Isn't he one of those fictitious characters like Mickey Mouse?
You would think so. Watching this documentary, he's a god.
Hey, Richard, I went digging and found my dad's pocket knife. He has a Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 3 pocket knife.
No, Dale Earnhardt, not Junior.
Oh, yeah, I have Dale Earnhardt's pocket knife.
Junior's 8.
Yeah, he's little, but he's young.
There's a scene in it, Gene, when it first starts, where Dale's talking and they're interviewing him, and they're like, how's your life? He talking to, and trying to get him to answer a question, basically. And in the movie or in the documentary, they talk about how he really wasn't that educated when it come to like book smart. And he tells the guy, he goes, "Well, shit, if you want to find out what my life's like, don't ask me." He said, "Get in a race car with me." He said, "Come to the farm." Yep. And the guy's like, he's like, "I don't want you to tell you."
Say he dropped out of school in the 8th grade. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think he done pretty good in life for not going into high school.
Cajun said Andrew said Apollo 13 was the movie I have to watch over and over and over again. And Cajun said that it's the music in Top Gun.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, Kenny Loggins in Danger Zone. Every time it comes on the radio, got to crank it. And Apollo 13 was a good movie.
Renee's going to take her dad to the Richard Petty Museum tomorrow. That's cool. I took my dad there once.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Yeah, it's cool.
But
hey, he's still alive.
To talk about a little bit about Lego, we got George and Caden's not on, but in Caden, y'all are gonna be doing a show in a couple weeks, ain't you?
Yep, we'll be at Brickmania GHQ for World War Brick, June 6th through the 8th. So I think last day to get tickets to display maybe tomorrow at midnight. So I think there were still a few left online, and then weekend tickets to just come and view the show, hang out during public hours are still available. I think you can get them at the door too. So
if anybody wants to pay for me to go, I'll be more than happy to collect that.
And I think you'd be a great master of ceremonies.
I have no idea what that means, but
basically what I did last year, run the show.
So are you saying that you're trying to put me in that position so you don't have to do it?
I'm trying. Nobody's mentioned it this year. So
why are they going to mention it? That means it gives you the opportunity to back out. If they don't mention it and spring it on you, you don't have the opportunity.
I've been practicing my auctioneer, but I ain't doing it here because it's horrible. So
can I get 30, 35, 34?
What do you get now? 35, 35. Yeah. And then,
we do have our lovely guest here. Mr. Ian Lazy Bricks. What is up? What is up?
Oh, not a whole lot. Sorry for being a little bit late. I had to get some stuff done, but we're here, so.
You are fine.
That's okay. We'll take it out of your pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Gene, you weren't supposed to tell him we were paying, and I was going to keep that so we didn't have to pay him.
Oh God. Oh, you were finally going to pay George with it?
Yeah. Well, me and George have another deal worked out.
I just work for Hopes and Dream.
I do all day long.
But Lazy Bricks, for those who does not know, is pretty much the king of World War One when it comes to Lego.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I think me and Mel are pretty close, but we're definitely up there.
I don't I've never even thought about doing a World War One mock. I have two World War One items, and that's it. I have the Faye Bentos tank.
Oh yeah.
Black vest, and I have a World War One German soldier with a gas mask.
I mean, that's a good start. That's more than a lot of people have.
I'm gonna stop there.
I think I have the Harlem Hellfighter that Brickmania did.
Oh yeah, those are pretty sick.
Those
Maybe one German stormtrooper.
Show me.
But like Richard and I have been talking the last couple of days since he said you were going to be on the show. Neither one of us really know that much about World War One.
I know nothing.
Yeah,
I know
that seems to
enough
be
to
a
be
trend I
dangerous.
noticed. A lot of people know a lot about World War II, but don't know pretty much anything about World War One, which is kind of sad because World War One's, in my opinion, one of the most interesting conflicts ever in human history. So,
See, the thing that really does it for me, I think the difference in them is the real factor of World War One is, in my mind, is nothing but trench warfare.
on the
versus-
Western Front, yeah. On the Eastern
versus-
Front, it's a lot more like the Second World War, where it's like fluctuating and like moving a lot more. I mean, you still had trench warfare, but it was a lot smaller scale. When everyone thinks World War One, they think of Western Front, France, 1914 to 18, trench warfare, gridlock, like the Somme, Verdun, and all that. But you go to the Eastern Theater, and it's just all wide open, fields,
Yeah, but you don't have Panzers, you don't have Tigers, you don't have Shermans.
And I think that's another big turnoff for people is there's not tanks. You only see tanks at like the last year of the war, really. I mean, they had them in 1916, but they had major problems. Like they kept breaking down and had pretty bad tracks.
That happened up until 1970.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, the early tanks were really rough. I mean, there's a reason only like 16 of them were deployed in the Battle of the Somme. So,
I mean, probably
true.
the most interesting thing for World War One for me was, the beginning of dogfighting. So, and first time you see airplanes in use. But, we talked about.
I take that back. I lied. I have other World War One sets. They're just planes.
So you got a red baron.
It intrigued the hell out of me that you had a plane that they were flying, and the bomber's whole objective to bomb something was he had to fly high enough to pull the nose down to where the bombs would just use gravity to fall out because there was no lever action where it actually released a bomb on some of these planes.
yeah.
And you literally had to dive bomb to drop the bombs out and then pull up to get away.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing like First World War airplanes and then what they had in like 20 years later during the Second World War. I mean, it's night and day. It's insane that they flew with those rinkety-dink little planes. I'm like, those guys had some major balls flying those.
Well, that's because we found alien technology.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't ask them what's in Area 51.
True Squadron said you're the king of terrain work. And that's
Thank you, True Squadron. You're the king of Star Wars, in my opinion.
I know. Have you seen his new mock, George?
Yeah, I've been following along.
I would never think of anyone to use that many black pieces. And every time I see it, I just think of like, do you dust this thing every time you're going to show it?
Yeah.
Andrew said you need Wonder Woman in your World War I mock.
That'd be pretty sick.
I
heard she was there. Can't confirm it.
Said that World War I can be very interesting. It's a shame that it is overshadowed by other conflicts. And Squadron said, all I can say is Battlefield 1 is my favorite Battlefield game, and it sets in World War I. Got me into learning a bunch about it. So I will say that Battlefield 1, I have played a lot of games, and I'm like not great, but I'm pretty good at most of them. Nothing was good of a feeling was playing Battlefield 1 and sniping somebody with no scope from you're iron sighting somebody from, 200 yards away.
Yeah, Battlefield 1's pretty much what got me into World War I. That game was so fun to play. I spent way too much time on that game.
We've talked about it quite a bit since I'm enjoying everything I'm doing right now with the people I'm doing it with as much as I am. After the Battle of the Bulge mock, I'm going to be doing a Star Wars mock.
Nice.
I'm not going to say I've been pressured into it, but I put it off far enough to where I pretty much, I guess, kind of have to. But after that, have you ever played? You've played all the Battlefields, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
On Battlefield 5, I don't know if it's pronounced right, but the Arist level, it's a conquest map where it has like the church in the corner, and there's like town. It's got the big wheat fields with all the tanks blowing up in them.
Yeah, I know
I'm
exactly.
going to try to build that as big as possible, not like crazy big, but big enough to where it makes me happy.
That would be really cool to see built.
It's pretty much Germans and British. The Americans were kind of there, but
Richard, big enough to make you happy is only ping pong table big.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm at the point now where if it's bigger than the ping pong table, it's not getting brought anywhere.
Is that what you're working on? Is a ping pong table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you never heard the story about that?
I guess if I have, I'm a horrible listener.
So the table that I'm on right now is 4 foot by 8 foot, which is what you could buy as a sheet of plywood. The only thing we did was it's got about 2 inches cut off of it on the width wise, and then we rounded the corners off. And I was like, well, man, I need to build another one of these to build on. And I was like, it cost me, I think was the plot, which I primered the top of this, which I probably shouldn't need it done. But it cost me right at about $140 for the legs, the screws, the bolts, the paint, everything. And I was sitting there one day and I was like, how in the world do I make a bigger table to build a mock on? Because you're going to have to buy like sheets of plywood. Then you got to worry about them sitting even and everything else. And I randomly got on Facebook Marketplace one day and saw a ping pong table. And the ping pong table was used, of course, but it was $50 and it was 9 foot by 5 foot. So I was like, well, there goes what I'm going to do. And I bought a ping pong table.
That's not a bad idea. That's a lot cheaper than the desktop I built to work off of.
The only thing that really sucks about it, and I'm not going to even say it sucks, is of course, when you buy it, they all fold up. Well, when I had to lay mine down and take 2 pieces of wood and screw them into the bottom of it to hold it together flat. But I mean, it wasn't like it was hard to do.
Yeah, it's not too hard. That's pretty easy.
Andrew said I have both the red and black Baron trifolker planes. And It's K Today said I still report for duty in Battlefield 1. 12,000 plus still playing. That's pretty crazy.
It's still got a pretty big player base.
Andrew said he wants to build a Zeppelin in minifigure scale.
That'd be awesome.
But right now he's all about the American Revolutionary War. He's got red coats and blue coats and militia minifigures. That's one I will be honest with you, I won't touch. I will stay away from anything civil, revolutionary.
Yeah, I
I
won't do
love-
revolutionary.
Not my.
I'll do
forte.
Civil War though. That's like as far back as I'll go is Civil War.
Honey?
I would love to see somebody do a Boston Tea Party mock.
Didn't someone do that at Brick Fair last year? I'm pretty sure.
They have.
A Boston Tea
90%
Party?
sure.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It was across from me. They had them pushing the boxes into the river.
Yeah, because I was the one that won Best Historical, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah. It was like
I
a
guess
little
I
bit of
didn't-
a town, and then the boat sitting out front.
Guess
Yeah,
I need
I
to
like
look for that.
That was pretty good.
We've been trying to get you to Brick Fair. Brick Fair literally is the biggest like military show, and you don't show up.
I know. I've known about it for 20-something years.
Yeah, it's the only reason I go to Brick Fair is just for like the military community, honestly. I mean, because I would go to Brick World and like other shows, but there's really no like military community there. I mean, like I have the Rebel Up boys to go there with, but other than that, I'd be kind of just there alone. the
I
only
skipped,
military building is kind of weird.
I bought tickets for Brick World this year, and I didn't pay to display. I was just going to fly up there and go. And I went to go buy the plane tickets, and I was like, I wonder how much like the hotel actually cost me. And I looked into it, and I seen that the hotel had been reserved. It just wasn't bought yet, like it wasn't purchased. And
Yeah.
once I seen that, and I found out my tickets could be refunded, I was like, just give me the money back. I'm not going.
Yeah, I thought very heavily on going this year, but I was not going to have my build done in time. So I'll have to wait till next year. But
Are you building something for Brick Fair this year?
oh yeah, definitely.
Does anyone know about it yet?
Caden knows and a few of my close friends know. I mean, if you've talked to me at conventions, you probably know what it is. It's definitely World War I related and it's a fort. That's the most information I'll give away. I mean, you've seen pictures of it. So yeah. But I
It's
usually
not any
keep-
of the pictures that you sent me to show tonight, is it?
No, it was ones when we first started talking I sent you.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say that's what I was getting at. I didn't want to just like blab anything if you hadn't told anybody yet.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, it's a lot. I don't know if you remember what I brought last year, the Port Arthur siege. It's like 4 times bigger than that. Like,
Well, see, last year, this is my first year with like the military peeps. Last year, I had brought the castle, and I was blackballed and put into the other side. This year, hopefully, I'll be beside Eric and Armin, all them.
yeah, I think you, me, Caden, Sean, Eric, and like a few other people are all gonna have like our own pod, and then the rest of the military's gonna be like in 2 other pods.
Yeah, Caden told me that he's trying to get it to where we're all boxed in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was joking with him, and I was like, dude, I'm willing to go in. I was like, with it being boxed in, I was like, we should just all go and pitch in like $25 and see if we can find a couch on Marketplace and just bring it. And when we leave, just throw it away or something.
That's not a bad idea. I'd be down for that. That sounds pretty fun.
Because, see, I was telling Eric, this is the first year. Well, I was really talking to Caden about it at first, but this is the first year that I'll actually be in an area. So the past 2 years I've been at Brick Fair, I've been in a standalone like section.
Oh, you've been on like the reserve section or like.
Well, last year I was on the edge of that table pushed out. So like I didn't have a behind area. The behind
see.
area was for everybody else. And then the year before that, it was the same thing. Everything, this build isn't done, but everything else it may as well be, but everything I've built beforehand has been able to be 360 degree viewed. And they set it up to where they can see both sides and the front. So I've always been in this like little stuck in area in the back.
Yeah, that's no fun.
This will all be really new for me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're going to be joining us at our little lug table for Red Rocket Log. It's gonna be fun.
The only thing that I haven't decided in, I've been talking to Haley. Haley didn't seem like she was interested in it at first, but I may pull up with the truck because I've never done any of this before. But I may pull up with the truck and not do anything Wednesday. I might jump in a Uber and go to Arlington Cemetery and see if I can't go to the Smithsonian Museum right there.
That'd be pretty cool. I haven't done that yet. I kind of want to do that this year, but we'll see how much it takes to set up my build this year because it's pretty big, unfortunately.
Do you because mine? I mean, mine's pretty much just like the Mills plates, and then the buildings will be set on top after the fact.
Yeah.
Vehicles and minifigs are going to be what takes forever to place. I set up Bastogne when I showed it in. Now this version is different, but it's the same amount of buildings really. When I showed it in, what was that, March? It took me about 3 hours to set up.
That's not bad. It usually takes me like 3 days to set up my builds, just because I build super loose and with like a ton of illegal techniques. So setting up can be either really easy or it just hurts my brain, period. Because like when I set up at Atlanta, that was actually pretty fast. No, Brick Fair last year was a pain. I was setting up till like Friday night at like 1 a.m.
Jeez.
Well, see, that's the other cool thing about Brick Fairs. Doors are open.
Yeah, I really like it like that way. I think it would be cooler if it was like Brick World Chicago, where it was like literally 24/7. The convention hall's open, but I don't know how that would work since the hotel's not connected to the convention. But
yeah,
I mean, either way, till 2 a.m. is still pretty sweet. So I'm not complaining too much,
It gives you something to do versus being like, so I go to a convention here in North Carolina in June, and it's really odd because they close the doors and kick everybody out pretty much at like 6-7 o'clock. So
Okay.
like you're just downtown in a city that you're not really used to, trying to find stuff to do. And when I go down there, there's like the little group I have, but it's not like it's not like the big, group that you would have at Brick Fair or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, BrickCon Atlanta was a lot like that. The first day, I think they kicked us out at 8 p.m. and then it was a little better the other days. They had it open till like 11, but I feel like they probably could have kept it open a lot longer because it was huge. It was like almost a Brick Fair sized convention, which I was actually pretty surprised by. Because from what I heard last year, they had like half of the convention center closed off, and then they opened a whole new section for the show this year. And from what I'm hearing, they're going to open a new section next year. So it's on its way to be a Brick World sized event for sure. And I would definitely recommend to like go check it out. Maybe
I was gonna say I'll probably go next year. It just really depends. The crappy thing about Atlanta is I try to build to where the first thing that I show is in June, and then from June till pretty much October, I have a show that I try to keep the build for, and then once that's done, I start rebuilding. Well, I have to take everything apart first and sort it, which is a month or two, in that time. But if Atlanta is like 3 months later, so that means I would have 3 months to build something.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Your sorting wouldn't take nearly as long as if you enlisted the help at the appropriate time.
No, not at all. But my thing is this year is what I've been thinking about is the pieces that I have in Bastogne aren't going to really be needed in the Star Wars mock at all. So when I box this up to take this in June, especially to Brick Fair, when I get back from Brick Fair, it's not coming out of the boxes until I come back from Bricksboro. So I may just leave it in the boxes until Atlanta, and then show it in Atlanta, and part with it after.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing for Atlanta next year because the build that I'm building for Brick for this year is gonna once it's going to Brick Fair, it's basically going to stay in the boxes till the next convention and then be displayed, and then kind of so on until Atlanta, or actually no, Brick World Chicago. And then after that, then I'll get to work on whatever build I'm bringing to Brick Fair, not Brick World. But I'm kind of switching up my schedule because I used to only just build for Brick Fair. And then I decided that I'm going to switch it up so that way I can go to more conventions and not just building for one specific one. That way I have a variety of like things I can do and kind of take a breather from building, because building for a year straight burns you out very quick.
Yeah.
And I've been burnt pretty hard with this one.
Working on the same mock burn you out pretty quick.
I talked to Caden that maybe it's time for me to like take a year break on not building one big thing and do just a bunch of smaller stuff.
I don't know how he does it. That dude can just pump out like the craziest thing in like 1 year and then just tear it apart and go right back at it. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. I gotta like
Battlefield done the same thing. Battlefield was sending a different mock to like for us to show every week, and it was just like progressively getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, do you just like wake up and this is all you do? And he's like, yeah. Nevin's Bricks did ask how you were doing, by the way. And he said that he enjoys the monuments way better than the museums.
Doing pretty good, Nevin. We should catch up sometime. It's been a minute since we talked.
True Squadron said that Atlanta was fantastic for sure. EMS said they finished building this yesterday. I'm hoping that it take a little bit. I still have one F1 car left. But I also may take a pause on that because I don't know when that I'm going to start, but I've got about 7 more tanks I have to build.
Oof.
And I kind of need them done. I've got the pieces. I just need to build them. I built 2. I was telling him last Thursday I came down here and built 2 of the SDKFZs.
Ooh, nice. Are those Panzer Brick Lab kits? Or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have 2 of those. I've got 1 more to build, and then I got to build 3 King Tiger 2s, and then I've got 4 more Shermans, and then other vehicles in between all that.
It's quite a few of tanks. Damn, that's.
Well, I'm kind of scared that I'm not going to have enough, but either way, I think in the forest I'll be all right. The more terrain that's open, it makes more sense. It wasn't like they were on top of each other, really fighting as much as they were sitting in trenches, shooting, hoping to hit each other. What's going on, General Trump? Rick says, howdy all. Are you, Nevin's asking, I'm assuming me, if I'm incorporating 145th and 135th. No. I stopped doing anything 145th, and I have switched everything. 35th and switched everything to 145th.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I build only now. I used to build like 135th, but I'm doing only 145th now because I like the style of 145th better. You can do like you can get a lot more detail in it, I think, with a decent minifigure scale, because I know like my big gripe with Brickmania is that their tanks are just way too big for minifigure scale and way too impractical for like a diorama that like kind of how we build, because their tanks are, I think, what scale would it be?
That's what I was just telling George, that a minifigure looks really good next to the tank.
Yeah.
But the tanks don't look as good as the 145th.
The tanks by themselves that Brickmania does, they look great. Like, I won't lie. They look really good. But then you put it next to a minifigure, and you're like, this seems kind of really big and very impractical for, like, battle scenes and, like, Mocs, for display, they're perfect. But I wouldn't personally use them on a Moc. And I think they're a bit too pricey for what you get.
They definitely are pricey.
And that goes for most of Brickmania stuff too. Like, I'll say openly, I'm not a big fan of their pricing. I was pretty much up until this year lately
all for Brickmania. Like anything, I thought Brickmania was king. As much as people hate the company, I'm not going to say that I've had a bad experience with them. The last 4 orders I've put in for figs have been with the Minifig Co. I mean, I understand they might steal the stuff from other people, but right now they're the only people that are making the figs. So unless another company wants to step up, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I will say that out of all the companies I have bought of lately, and this is not just like blowing him up because he's a friend, but Lando's minifigs are absolutely perfect. I don't care what anybody says.
I love his figures. I've been thinking about trying to get him for a sponsor for next year for possibly something Vietnam related if I do that. But his figures they've blown me away, especially like last year. You could just see the quality skyrocket. I mean, it's insane.
What's really crazy is I know I've been talking to him and Evan, which I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm best friends with them, but I talked to him a little bit, and to like the research that they do, and to know that every time they release a minifig, that minifig isn't a random person. That was actually somebody.
Yeah.
So
No, they do their research really well, and I like that. Like, because I know a lot of companies, I won't name them, but I know quite a few companies will just kind of search it up, like, oh, what was the just average like standard issue uniform that they used this year, and then just mass produce it and be like, yep, that's what they used, no variation whatsoever, and just call it good. And I mean, that's fine for like certain stuff, but I like to have like super in-depth detail and like kind of give each variation the right place, right time to be used. And I don't know, that's why I usually go with Brick Fabric, because they've been sponsoring me the last 2 years, and that way I can like have them do it for cheap, mass produce capes, and have plenty of variation, and it's a lot cheaper.
I have a couple of the capes like you use. I don't know if they're from Brick Fabric. I bought them last year at Brick Fair. It's pretty much the ones that I have are World War II. Well, I guess winter German outfits.
How smooth is the cape? Like, is it super smooth on the finger, or
no?
It's probably Brick Fabric then, because I was gonna say it could be MMTV, but their capes were like super smooth, like hardwood smooth on the finger.
No, these aren't that smooth. These feel like fabric.
Yeah, then it was probably Brick Fabric, because you can tell the difference. One's a lot softer, one's a lot like rougher on the finger, which is fine. I mean, I don't really care, but both work.
Nevin said it seems like a sin to use both scales in the same mock, and that Panzer Brick Labs is the goat, no glaze. And Panzer Brick Labs said Nevin is not a paid actor, I promise.
Wink, wink.
Papa Trip said, evening bearded brick friends, just crossed the Davie County line on the way from Hilton Head. What is up, Papa? Be careful out there.
Yeah,
I have a piece in this that I know that I didn't put in there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say like there's certain companies that I think that are good for certain, or really outstanding in certain things. Like, yeah. I don't care what anybody says. I will honestly say every massive scale vehicle I have ever built from Brickmania, like their helicopters, their B-17, especially some of the modern stuff, is definitely crazy.
Oh yeah. No, I agree.
Unless you're George, and then it's not big enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say my least favorite company I've ever built is Omaha Bricks.
Really?
I do not like their stuff at all.
What about it don't you like? I mean, I've never bought or built anything for them, so I have no idea.
The 1/35th scale seems like that it's really just a poorly replicated version of something else. Like, if you look at some of their stuff, all their stuff is well, I'm not going to say all of it because I don't know if they have kits on there, but it's pretty much instructions. You buy the instructions and build it yourself. The stuff that I have found on there is like, it's not that it's bad as far as scale. It looks like it's a cheap copy of something. And then I built a minifig scale mouse, the German mouse. It was horrible. It was like, I literally have a video. I just threw it. Like it was.
Oh, that's the one you threw?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a waste. I have a whole bunch of their like field guns. The howitzer is really nice. It's really detailed. The 140 or the 135th scale is not 135th scale. I have it built. I'm actually going to be using them. They're 145th scale. I mean, they're much smaller than what a 135th would be. Yeah. And they look like, which again, going back to like the whole minifig thing, there's only so many ways you can do something now. It looks like the stuff that is on there is just certain designs that they've taken off of other vehicles. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that. They kind of remind me a lot of like Panzer Brick Labs, honestly. Like the look is kind of there, but I've just never really had the urge to buy any of their products. Just honestly, because like most of my friends who I know in the community have never bought them, never really had any experience with them. So that's kind of good to know, honestly. But
how I found them was through a buddy of mine was building a mock that me and him started he didn't want to design nothing, he just wanted to build it. So I was pretty much digitally designing buildings while he came out with the layout of the land, and it was a World War II battle, pretty much the Germans versus the Russian before the snow. And there was a little like town that he found, and the tanks that were coming in were like old Russian tanks, like kind of like the first of its kind. And apparently Omaha is the only ones that were making them. But I also don't know how true that is. I just know that that's how we stumbled upon Omaha and why he decided to use them.
Who is Omaha?
Just a website. Omaha Bricks.
Don't they do like? I thought they did minifigures too, or they just do vehicles.
I don't know. I've never. Me and my buddy, their instructions are like $5 to $10 a piece, and me and my buddy literally got on there, and we didn't do like the variants of okay, well this one's winter camo, blah blah blah. We created one account, put both of our cards in there, split it, and bought everything they had. It was a total of like $75 a person. At the time, I don't know what's added now.
I think they've recently, and it may not have lasted long, branched into minifigures, and then they're doing complete kits. But I haven't been keeping up with them.
They do complete kits, but the thing is, they sell the instructions to the complete kits, and they don't print anything. So I don't think that it's worth buying the kit. If I can go buy the pieces, I guarantee you I can get the pieces cheaper.
Yeah, that's fair. Because like if you have the complete kit and then you're just selling the instructions to it, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having the complete kit.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, well, Brickmania kind of does that too, but because I'm pretty sure you can just buy their instructions, like their instruction books they used to have. I don't know if they still have those anymore though.
Yeah, but normally it's if you're buying an instruction, it's because they've already updated the kit.
Oh yeah,
like you're buying an old version,
updated or retired it.
Yeah. When I bought the what is it called? The Heroes in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I bought that book. I bought the Bricks in the Sand 1 and 2. And then the one with I think it's Cold War, something like that. They are all extremely good. I built pretty much every vehicle in both Bricks in the Sand.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get some of their Ukrainian stuff. because I've had an idea to do Bakhmut for about a year now, and they're really the only ones doing anything Ukrainian that like minifigure wise. I mean, I know there's some websites. I think they're in like Russia of all places, which is kind of hilarious, that are doing like Ukrainian like flak jackets and helmets and stuff, but their complete figure, like their Ukrainian complete figures are freaking killer, dude. Like they look amazing.
I've never done anything modern, but I'm trying to get, me and George are trying to pressure somebody into doing some things. If they start making them, I will be doing a modern mock.
I'd be down to do that one day.
Brix says howdy or hello y'all. Do what?
Oh, I'd be down to do that one day. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I want to do something modern. George brought me a I'm gonna say he opened my eyes to something I never thought about, and then me and him just kept joking, and we were like, we realized we know like some of the top printers. Why aren't we making this happen? So we're trying to get it printed. I want it to be, honestly, a lot of people might not like this. I don't know. Me and George haven't really talked about it. I want them figures to be mine and George's only. Nobody else can get them. I don't care. You might hate that. Somebody can steal his design for a later date.
I noticed he hadn't answered the group chat today.
No, he hadn't. I told you he's gonna put it off.
Oh, I'm gonna bug the hell out of him next weekend.
I tried to get him for a while to. I didn't want to do like the plank ownership, but I wanted to sell the 1x8 brick badges.
Yeah,
to kind of like help fund everything I was doing. And then I told him, I was like, from here on out, I'll order 150 of every mock that I do. He was like, I was like, if you need me to sign something, you need to send me the money for you to come up with the design, whatever you may do, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to a second in command. He'll make it happen.
I didn't think about messaging him, and I've been talking to him a lot.
Sometimes you got to motivate people via different resources.
That's fair.
Start buying something off his website once a day, just to make him do a bunch of shipments.
That might be a little extreme.
This week, believe it or not, as much as we talk about buying stuff on here, this was the first week I've not made a single Lego purchase.
Yeah, I haven't in like 3 weeks.
I can't say that. I bought something out of Gene's store Friday.
Oh, nice. What'd you get?
I've not bought anything since Lego related.
Mix of stuff.
I
have not bought a thing.
I'm trying to. I went with an ambition of buying things to make a real bang bang, and that's what I did instead.
Yeah.
How many pieces did you get?
I'm missing a barrel and a trigger, and I pretty much have a gun.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Who's upper?
Anderson. I've been I bought some stuff that's coming Monday to paint everything. I'm gonna do it myself.
Oh, flat dark earth.
Well, I've actually gone a step further. I bought an entire kit. I'm gonna chocolate chip this thing.
You're gonna try what?
I'm gonna try to chocolate
desert camo.
That'd be an interesting camo.
That would be. You got to get the little white spot on the chocolate chip.
But that's the thing. I've got the kit to do it. It's. I was skeptical about buying it, and then I watched them do it, and it's pretty simple. It's just my only I guess I don't know if it's going to be a huge problem, but clearance issues. As you paint something, it tends to build up thickness, and you're talking 4 different colors. So I don't know. The video I watched, the guy literally put the whole gun. He painted the whole gun tan, put it together, done all the other designs, and then it was perfect. So that might be what I do.
That's the way to go.
Nevin said weekly Lego purchases is wild. That's.
I mean, if it's Brickin, so
it's not gonna.
Hey, George, you painted the whole gun tan, put it all together, then chocolate chipped it, and it worked perfectly for airsoft.
Hey, that's the cheapest way to go. Well, I don't know. Airsoft's pretty expensive sometimes, from what I'm told.
I mean, compared to actual guns, it's pretty cheap. It's a lot cheaper of a hobby if you don't want to spend too much money on firearms.
Yeah.
Nothing's a cheap hobby.
No. At least not the
Lego.
hobby.
People always be like, "Oh, it's not that bad." It's always funny, like,
What is
friends
this
come
too
like,
much
"Oh, Lego's
money
not
on
that
firearms?"
expensive." Yeah.
You just gotta go fishing for yours.
Yeah.
Where do you guys order all your parts from? Like Bricklink, the Lego website? Like,
me and George were actually just talking about this before we came on. I've got to where I went from almost 100% Bricklink to 100% Lego.
really? What made you change?
The availability. I mean, so this is how I do everything. If it's an let me try to think of the easiest way to say this. Let's say I want to build a building. I've built it in Studio.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if it's bricks, stuff like that, Lego's probably going to have them. So what I'll do is, the way I tackle an order is I get a Bricklink cart ready. I will take that Bricklink cart and I will go buy everything I can off of Lego's website, off of Bricks and Pieces. And as I buy it, I mark it off of that cart. Once it's marked off of the cart, if there's pieces left over, I'll go to Bricklink, and there's about 4 stores that I regular. Depending on what it is, like if you're wanting some rare pieces that you don't need like a massive quantity of, Gene pretty much has them. But one of the things is like, do what? What'd you say?
What the fuck?
I think he froze. It's not you tonight, George.
Woohoo!
There he goes.
So, Ian, you were saying something and froze.
Hold on. Let me switch the Wi-Fi real quick.
Panzer Brick Labs wants to know, out of the 4 of us, who has the most VIP points. Definitely not me.
I'm going to put it between me and Gene.
Yeah.
How many are you at right now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll go look.
What are you at total?
What do you mean total?
Like what you've gotten the entire time that they've done VIP points.
Ooh,
Oh, good Lord. Hold on. I got to log out because I'm logged in.
I've been doing good not logging on to Lego.com. You guys are bad influences.
Yeah, George is like, yeah, I'm really happy to be on the show. You know, I don't ever really buy any Lego sets. And I'm like, check out these F1 cars. He's like, well, I bought F1 cars.
Son of a bitch.
Got him again.
I only bought the one because I needed the curved slopes that were in there. And then 2 more kind of just conveniently fell in the cart.
Yes, Gene has a Bricklink store. It is called Camel City Brick House.
Yeah, so right now I'm at 91,462.
What are you at total though?
How do you know the total? Oh, I'm sorry. We got another 10,639 in Tori's account. So
Go
we're a little
to
over 100,000.
go to points history. So go up to the top right corner, click the points,
Yeah.
scroll down, and then click points history, and it says points earned since joining.
290,035.
Man, you're not that far ahead of me. I'm at 275, and y'all buy just about every set.
I'm a rookie. I'm only
Hold on. We got another one here.
51,218 overall lifetime.
I've got more points than that right now.
I only have 15,000. I don't buy that many Lego sets.
I don't either. It's all bricks and pieces.
I get-
Being honest,
Yeah,
I haven't
like
bought a Lego set in 4 years.
That's right.
So just that 10 6.
I've
Yeah,
been
so
doing
Richard, our total's 300,674.
It's numbers to strive to be.
good night.
Wait. How many dollars does it take to get a Lego point?
Isn't it
Oh,
$10? $5?
I
I
thought
don't
it
know.
was 20.
They change it all the time.
I'm pretty sure. Well, last time I checked, it was 20. I'm pretty
20,
sure.
20 points for every dollar?
Or is it $20 for every point?
hold on, I can look at my history and tell you the most recent purchase and how many points it was.
Nevin said, lazy, you need to grow out the stash.
Working on that one. I used to have a beard. That was awfully ugly. It was horrible. So we're sticking with the stash for now.
I think it's 5 points per dollar.
Do what?
I think it's 5 points per dollar. Because I
That
think we
sounds
spent
about
just over $200 last time. We got 1,086.
EMS has us all beat. 707,000
Oh,
lifetime.
You've spent $60,136 on Lego.
Dude, don't put it into that terms. We don't need to know that.
If it's $5 for every point.
This game Brix says $1 is about 130 points.
No, you have to use 130 points to get a dollar. You know, Richard's talking about the inverse. How much do you have to spend to get a point?
Oh,
Jesus.
I don't want to know how much I've spent on Lego.
Oh, I don't
Evan
either.
said, I don't think I would have heard the words ugly
Yes,
beard on the Bearded Bricks channel.
It's the
Fat
truth.
Daddy said he's at 110,000 right now. George's midlife sports car is tied into Lego points.
I went and looked at a Corvette yesterday. Whew.
Do what?
I went and looked at a Corvette yesterday.
Don't do
What
it.
year?
2025.
Don't
Oh,
do it.
oh.
Definitely don't do it.
It was only because I was getting my oil changed and it was sitting in the showroom.
This
There's no way I'd ever
pricey
spend
car.
$104,000 on a car.
this is your old change cost.
That was a cheap Corvette.
I would never buy a new Corvette.
No,
I'd only buy the 70s. 70
I
Corvette.
wouldn't buy the 70s. If you're going to buy a Corvette, there's only one. It's a C7.
Ugh.
You don't own a C7, you're going to have problems.
That's debatable.
What's wrong with you?
I like power.
So you buy an older one and put a bigger engine in it,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would have done.
like a 50, 55 or a 56 Corvette.
So you're going to spend triple the money.
Stingray.
It's all fiberglass.
Yeah,
You buy it,
63 split window.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Panzer said, sorry, I opened this can of worms. I think you have us beat, though, but I don't think that matters.
Andrew just said,
Bye, David.
watching the show.
See, David,
All that means is by all of us together, we've probably spent almost $100,000 on Lego. Just by the three of us, really.
And that's just through Lego.com.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not counting Bricklink, third party.
I have
Conventions.
$1,000 worth of German military over here. That's not including American.
dude, we just bought out our 4th Bricklink store, so that doesn't get counted into it.
Honestly, I think just my minifigure collection for military is probably around $4,000. Just that alone.
I may have you beat.
There's 20 on the shelf behind us.
Wait, are we talking military or Star Wars combined?
Well, if you want to throw Star Wars combined, I'd probably definitely have you beat.
Oh yeah, if you throw Star Wars on, probably yeah.
I've got an on this like wall over here. There's almost 200 battle packs that are unopened.
That still blows my mind.
That's so
Mine too.
many.
Yeah,
That's
I have
200. That's a big
idea.
number for backs.
I have no idea what I'm going to do with them.
Let's build a
You're
massive.
gonna
Star
save them
Wars.
and sell them to Caden.
I'll say I'll wait 3 years.
Caden doesn't need any more minifigures. He already
I'll
has
wait
like
3 years
every
till
Holiday
Caden
figure.
wants them.
We don't
Caden, if
need
you're
to feed
watching this,
that
do you want to do some castle stuff? I've got plenty of them. Yeah, I have 1,500 Black Falcon soldiers.
Crazy.
1,500.
Yeah, it was a weird story of how I got that number, but I'm there.
I'm kind of interested now. I need to know.
I bought when they first came out on Lego's Pick a Brick, I bought 100 and then 100 more and then 100 more and then just kept doing it, and I ended up with like 700, and then I had a buddy that was like, man, you might as well go for 1,000. So I went for 1,000, and then I had at that point, like, my friends were like, hey, I attended Lug Bulk this year and bought you another 100. And it kept going.
Are you talking about the Black Falcons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say with the battle packs, we were part of that problem. Everywhere we went, you had us buying more of them.
Yeah, when the 501st Battle Pack came out and like people were having trouble finding them, I was like clearing shelves.
He does not have a problem. He can stop anytime he wants to.
General Tron said he'll never admit to how much he spends on Lego. He'll take it to the grave. Sometimes it's best just not to think about what you spend money on.
Well, I mean,
Amen.
that's a lot of us. That's all we do. It isn't like we got much other vices. So
No.
I gave up the Lego. I mean, not the Lego. The comic book. I stopped that.
Did you end up selling all that, Richard?
No, I can't find anyone that everybody that I know wants me to put them up or like sell them a couple issues. And if I want to get rid of them, I want to do it all at once. And nobody has that all at once type of money.
It's really hard to get rid of a giant collection of anything in one foul swoop.
Well, the problem is if I'm not going to get rid of all of them, I don't want to, what's the point of me letting go of what I got that's good? Because nobody wants like a couple issues that aren't like worth much. They want the ones that are worth the most. I don't want to do that.
That's fair.
Yeah, it sucks.
I
You
think
get rid of the
we-
valuable ones, and then you're stuck with the ones that nobody wants.
I was actually telling this story the other day, back probably about a year ago now. I went through this kick where I was buying Michael Jordan graded cards. I would go to eBay. I would buy like, however many I wanted at the time, had extra money for. And I bought a replica rookie card. It's graded at a 10.0. I got it and immediately went back to the store. I was like, hey, do you have any more? And I like bought some other stuff. Well, he had one that was a remake that was gold plated and it was signed. So I bought it from him. And he messaged me like I had already had it for maybe 3 or 4 days. And he was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know. He goes, I screwed up. He goes, it's my fault. I am not asking for it back. He goes, but the one that you got that signed is actually signed. He was like, I didn't mean to take it out of my collection, but my loss is your gain. And I was like, for one, that was really like cool of him to say that. Most people would be like, hey, I screwed up, send it back. But after I figured out that I had that, I stopped because I was like, if that happened, I'll never get another deal. So the next one I buy is going to be fake or something like that. So I just stopped.
Oh, see, I would never get that lucky. I'd probably buy the fake.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, technically, I bought the fake. He shipped the real. I bought one of the ones that was like stamped and not signed, but oh well. It's K today said back in Gene's day, it was who had the most gold. In 2025, it's who has the most plastic. Gold is failing compared to the value of like going up of Lego.
Yeah.
Gene, it is about that time. Do you have anything for us this week?
And actually, what I got is just some couple interesting things. Nothing big.
So Ian, every week, Gene does his segment of like one of 4 different things. One of them is where they'll bring Bricklink pieces that are like you can go buy for like 50 cents, or they'll have like a color variation where the color variation is like $25. And it's not really stuff that you would ever use in Mocs. It's like stuff that just kind of gets pushed to the side that me or Gene or George can't really believe it's that expensive. And then we bring Mocs to the table, and George tries to show off some Mocs. I try to show off some Mocs, and we that's one of the reasons why I got yours. Yours are last on my part, so I'll let George go first after Gene gets done.
That piece is hell expensive.
Tori loves it when I play with him.
Haley does that. That's so cool.
That's not Haley.
It's AI.
That's
Sounds
AI.
just like Haley. Sorry, sounds like Haley. I won't laugh no more.
All right, so to show it straight from Bricklink tonight, the first thing is dark red wedge 4x2 slope, right and left. We ended up with several of these. We parted out some old sets, had some really bad sticker parts in it. But I don't know if you guys knew that Lego partnered up with the shipping company Maersk years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's the Maersk container ships, there's a Maersk train, there's a bunch of sets. And there's a color called Maersk blue that is special to those sets.
Yep.
These pieces came in those sets. And that right there is what we sold one of those for. $7.50 for that one part.
We sold the other side.
The left side's not as valuable. It sold for $3.45. Somebody sold one for $10.29 this month, but we sold used them for $3.45. We're like, holy crap. And then the other thing I was going to share, some of you guys know that we help with the Bricklink catalog. We've cataloged probably 100 to 120 of the sets that are on Bricklink now. And as such, we've been asked to be part of the catalog admin team, which is a full volunteer position. Well, in doing that, you get part of the Lego Christmas distribution because Bricklink's part of Lego. The problem is Christmas distribution didn't go out until last week. So we get this set, and it's one of the Bricklink designer program sets. It's just a little bitty chess set.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
thinking, how cute is that? That won't take long to build. And Tori's like, well, what's it worth? I was like, I don't know. Let's go look. $1,200. I was like,
Keep
holy
that,
crap.
Keep that, and in 2 years, Caden's going to want it.
Yeah, that's going in with some of our other Bricklink designer program sets that we haven't built yet. I was looking at them tonight, and I was like, hey, I wonder how much those are. But The only one available in the U.S. right now is $1,200. Oh no, sorry, there's two for $750 now.
That is crazy.
They weren't there, so that's got to be somebody that's in our catalog admin team that's selling those two, because those were not there when I got mine. The only one in the U.S. was that one right there, and it's only 372 pieces.
But he hadn't sold it yet.
And there's nothing special about them. They're all just standard pieces. So I mean, look, nothing special. Nothing special at all.
But it's worthless unless there's a box, I'm guessing. Because
One brick is the only thing that's special. And I may be wrong, but I think we already have one of those. No, we don't. I thought we had one. But it's just nuts. I was like, holy crap, $1,200 just for volunteering to do some cataloging.
Are the instructions available for that?
Good question.
Nobody
probably
has.
not, because instructions aren't done through Bricklink. They're done through Lego.
Ah,
No, there's instructions available through Bricklink.
I
I
think
mean,
we
if you go back and let's just pick another random Bricklink designer program. That one does not have instructions.
I think we lost Ian.
we did.
Come back. All right, there's free time.
Yeah, the instructions are out there, but nobody's selling them to any of these sets.
That's what I'm thinking. That might be something they've like blocked for that purpose.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
I was just thinking there's Ian. If you could get the instructions, you could just buy the parts yourself and save considerable.
That's what I'm saying. It's only valuable if you get the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, the box is a big part of it. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that, guys. And there's none of those instructions are available.
Interesting.
Well, now we know.
You're gonna open it, and it's gonna be where you scan it, and you go to a website. Have to put in a password.
Yeah, I mean, see, I'm all curious now because we've got this one, we've got this one.
Sidetrack.
we've
The
got
sad
this
thing is
one.
that's still not the most expensive chess set.
No, there's one that's $3,500.
The Knight's Kingdom.
No, Giants chess set.
Look up the.
So some of these haven't hit their sweet spot yet, George.
Look up the
I mean,
one
like,
for
The sheriff's safe was like $95. It's going for $129.
That's not terrible.
If you look up the one for Knight's Kingdom, it's like $3,500.
Oops.
Gene, you Googled it. Way to go.
It's his best buddy is Google.
Mr. Google. The Knight's Kingdom.
It's the one that has all the orcs in it.
Giant chess, 3422. Holy
Yeah, the
cow.
giant chest is the one that's. So that one, Richard,
Yes.
that was only $299.
No, that can't be right.
Go back a page.
Hold on.
I saw it on there. Down there,
No,
right
that's
there.
the giant chest. That's what I was talking about. The giant chest. Is that the one you're talking about, Richard?
Let me make it bigger. Hold on.
That's
I
what
wish
she
now
said.
I'd have bought
Yes,
that.
yes, that's the one with the orcs and everything.
Yeah, that's called giant chess, and it's $3,500.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money for a Lego set.
Lot.
And the crazy thing
Yeah,
is that's still not the
But
most expensive.
proportionally, there's 2,300 pieces in that one. Mine's only 300 pieces, and it's a third of that price.
Not that I've never spent that much money on a Lego set.
I've never spent that much money on a Lego set.
Never.
No.
Maybe on a Bricklink order, but never a Lego set.
Ian, you need to learn about our Bricklink store if you're spending that kind of money.
Right. Camel City Bricks.
George,
City
would you like
Brick.
this to turn into an intervention?
What's that?
Would you like this to turn into an intervention?
Who are we having an intervention for?
You,
Why?
because you're the only one that's bought a $3,500 Lego set.
You've never spent $3,500 on an aftermarket third-party set?
No.
I haven't.
No.
I spent $3,500 buying out a Bricklink store.
What do you have that is $3,500?
Actually,
I don't want to talk about it. Maybe it was multiple sets that came up to 3,500.
The most
actually, I was
expensive.
thinking we've spent 3 times out buying out one of the Bricklink stores.
The most expensive purchase set that I've ever purchased was $1,600, and that was the Osprey.
I've got 3 Ospreys.
I don't need but one. And technically, I don't have one. YOLO said, dang, it must have been an awesome $3,500 set. Tron said, never admit anything, just keep smiling.
See, he gets it.
You should have said that sooner, Tron. Thanks.
I'm just waiting till you hear whatever you're going to hear when you get downstairs.
She's at granddaughter's ball game tonight, so she won't see this till tomorrow. And she knows what I spend my money on.
Gene, are you about to show us something else?
No, that'll get.
Oh. George, did you bring some Mocs to the table?
I did. It's going to be short and sweet tonight because, as we discussed earlier, I know very little about World War I, but I did.
Well, here we go. Ian can explain to us what you're bringing to the table.
I did bring some World War I stuff tonight in his honor.
Let's see what you got. I'm excited.
And
he's going to know who they are, what they're built, how many pieces.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm always excited for a surprise.
So, get my mouse in the right spot. This is from a gentleman by the name of Spurious Bricks.
Yeah, I know him. He's a really cool guy.
Okay, well, this is a really cool build.
Yeah.
I like the rock work he's done. I don't know if you could really call it rock work. I guess it'd be more earthwork.
Yeah.
But a nice little trench depiction. Caden would really enjoy the techniques back here, the different colors of dirt.
You don't show Caden that because when you show Caden that, he does it.
Yeah.
I like how we did the reinforcement of the trench with the reddish brown flex tubing.
I've done that once. Never doing it again. It is a pain to do.
It looks nice, but I can imagine trying to keep it stacked up and uniform.
I know some people use like the double-sided tape to hold it up, which I might try one time, but a lot of people do like that technique where it's just like 2 like pillars just sitting there and then it's lined up against like a wall or something, which is just super hard to keep it like stable.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some brackets turned on the side here, maybe with cheese slopes on it to add a little indentation in there to help keep it from sliding around. But
that's actually smart. I never thought about that.
Well, I'll let you screenshot that there. And
I'll screenshot it in my mind.
But no, he's got a lot of interesting techniques going on back here. So cheese slopes going every which direction. Studs on the side.
I'll go ahead and tell you I'll never do that.
Yeah, I won't either. That's just too much time and effort for Earth.
I don't know what company the figs are from, but they look pretty nice.
It looks TMC to me.
I was wondering because I think that cigarette right there might be from TMC.
Yeah, that cigarette's from TMC for sure.
But it's a nice little build, small vignette. Looks like it'd be easy to transport.
Oh yeah, I like this like nice, small, simple, and it has like tons of detail. But that's pretty nice. It's kind of hard to get to.
Oh, look
It's
at the printed legs.
definitely TMC.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see the blue
I
stamp.
see the blue logo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of interesting things going on here.
I think the color coordination could be a little better, in my opinion. Just a little too blocky for me, but I mean, overall, it's a really solid build.
I wouldn't even know where to begin with World War One, so I'm gonna take your advice.
It's dirt and mud. I know that.
Yeah, right.
Like we talked earlier, most people think of the Western Front and trench warfare. That's pretty much all I know. And I've even been to the World War One museum memorial in Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
We walked through that thing in like an hour and a half. Did not spend near enough time to actually learn anything. But it's pretty good if you ever get the chance to go.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to check that out sometime. I'm a huge
would,
museum buff. I love going to them and just seeing all the weird, cool stuff they have. You can learn so much. It's crazy.
I would plan on a full day in there to probably get your value out of it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is I only brought 4 tonight. I like this overhead view.
Oh yeah.
Kind
I
of
like
got
how
a
it
that's a
became
really
like
nice
I like
square.
how it became
view.
a standard that if you do a World War mock at all, other than like World War One and World War Two, you have to have cigarettes.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I have.
I've got like 20 different cigarettes for the guys.
I'm a little more purist. I use like just the what do you call it? The ice cream cone pieces. Like just stick it on the finger and looks like smoke coming out.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm way past the purist mark.
Foul.
Gentleman by the name of Scout Trooper Brix.
Scout Trooper is really cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like him. He's got some good builds.
Simple little mock, but I like the destroyed building here that he's done. I like the way he did his base with the bricks or the studs on the side and tiled around the corners.
Yeah,
Just
it's nice.
It's
Clean.
a lot like the art bases from Lego.
Yeah. Building here is pretty simple, just using masonry bricks, but I think it represents the building quite nice. I like how he's done the windows.
I was gonna say the windows are really well done.
Windows are such a pain.
Yeah. There's a
Why
big
build
reason I haven't built too many city mocks, just because I don't want to build windows. I don't want to hurt my brain too much.
I like that he included a section of the upper floor here, just kind of hanging out. Looks like he's using minifigure hands to hold the tiles together.
Ooh, that's smart.
Oh yeah.
Busted windows, nice touch. And Richard just loves it when you throw stuff down on the ground, but he's got some stuff connected there.
I'm not a fan of debris laying and not attached to something.
I used to be a fan of that, and then I switched to brick building debris, and it's a lot funner to build, in my opinion, because you actually have to like figure out how you want it to look and shape.
I'm not a fan of just throwing in.
Another picture of the building there, a little better detail. I like how he's got the tiles offset half stud to get that lip there on the sill.
Oh yeah.
And also just noticed he did that for the top part.
Oh.
That looks good.
It's
Yeah,
simple build, but it got a lot of detail in it.
It's got a lot of unique techniques too. I like it.
And then yeah, I think that's just plates on their side, but pretty effective use.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a cheese slope upside down here. Maybe that's a tile just upside down sitting on a stud. Kind of looks like
It looks like a tile upside down, yeah.
yeah, maybe an artillery crater or something.
I did
Or
something
it
similar.
could be the bottom side of a headlight brick.
No, it's
That
not
could be.
that.
No, it's not.
The rounded edge gives it away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it does have a little groove at the bottom.
I done my first in all of Bastogne. It's got to be probably like I'm probably in like the 20,000 piece range now, if not way above that. Probably way above that. I finally put my first piece in that's not actually connected by something. I'm trying to build the sink to make it look somewhat like sizable, and the only way I could build it was to turn an ingot upside down and just like slide it in the slot. So there is one piece in there that is not connected.
I'm very guilty of not connecting a lot of my pieces. Very guilty of that.
I think this is the same gentleman still, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, this is nice. This is what I think of when I think of World War One.
Yeah.
Tanks just running people over, blowing through trenches. So,
well, it's crazy because like the I guess whoever found out the idea and spread the word that those tanks right there, pretty much had to carry logs on them, because if they ever got stuck in the mud, someone's job was to get out, take the log off the top, and like attach it to the track. That way, as the track spun, it would catch the mud and pull it forward.
Yeah, it's all true.
I've had to do that when I got a bulldozer stuck at work several times. So
yeah, but you weren't getting shot at. Hopefully,
I wasn't getting shot at. Well, yeah, telephone poles work great. But I don't. This twisted barbed wire technique with the chain, that's been around as long as I can remember. But I
do that all the time for barbed wire. All the time.
I've used it numerous times. It's a great technique.
It really is.
Have you with doing that right there? This is something to talk about with everybody in the chat about like techniques. Do you twist chain like that versus doing the Citizen Brick? Well, you said you're more of a purist. Because Citizen Brick has barbed wire now.
Oh, I know. I don't use it. It looks way too good for me.
Do what?
It looks way too unrealistic for me. Like just it in the general sense of how Lego looks, it just is so off-putting. I'd rather just use the chain technique.
When it first come out, I was like, man, I'm going to use a bunch of this. And the just strands, I probably bought maybe 20, 30 of.
Oh, wow.
And I've just got them sitting in the bag that I brought them home in. I've never done anything with them.
Yeah, I was tempted to buy a few at Brick Fair last year, but I was like, I have so many chains, and I like the way they look. They just look more like Lego barbed wire than like printed pieces, I think.
Or Daddy.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked when they came out with their barbed wire coils and all that. And then I saw them on somebody's mock at a show, and I'm like, I think I'll stick with my chains.
The coils look really good on top of their fences for like a prison, but the thing is once you've done those fences and the barbed wire, it gets to the point where it looks more mega blocky than it does Lego.
Yeah.
But I am guilty of buying a bunch.
The techniques he's got going on here for the side of this tank got stuff going every which direction.
Oh yeah, he's pulling out all the books.
It's excellent shaping right here. I mean, you got slopes, you got brackets, plates. That looks like the backside of a hinged cabinet.
Yeah.
But that is where, if that's where the door would be. Well, no, the door's right there on the side.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's on the side
of the gun. That like 2x4. Yeah, that's how you get in and out of the tank.
There you go before you came in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened here, but he didn't make it.
Oh.
I don't know. That looks like that a fabric.
Yeah, that's brick fabric. I recognize that. I have quite a few of those capes.
My man was that close.
I don't think we've ever really talked about this on the show, but I don't know if he's got 1x1 plates on the bottom to give him some extra height.
Plate feet.
Plate feet, or if it's to represent that his feet are muddy. So
I think they're well. I use them to represent boots. He might be doing it to represent mud, but I do it for boots. So it's
I've
different.
seen that on a lot of people's builds.
Yeah, it's a very controversial topic in
Yeah.
the military community because everyone's like, "Oh, it looks dumb," and I'm like, "Oh, it kind of looks cool," and I'm like, I get where people are coming from when it looks dumb with like printed legs. If you're using non-printed legs, I'd say use plate feet.
Yeah. No, I get that. It adds a little extra height, and minifigures need some
Yeah.
extra height. Kind of short and squat. But I like what's that 1x2 ingot piece here he's got? I don't know if that's supposed to represent sandbags.
Yeah, probably.
When I started building Mocs, this is another kind of, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a pointer for everyone in the chat that builds Mocs, or if you're listening. If you're just starting out, buy like 1,500 of every ingot color there is, because you're going to use them a lot more than you ever thought you would.
Definitely.
I didn't think it was that cool of a piece, but man, you can literally buy those gold ones for gold bricks, like stacked up in a vault somewhere, or like a dungeon or something like that. You can use them as side pieces on the buildings. If you stack them with snot bricks, it makes it look like stone stack. You can do them on roads and kind of offset each one, and it makes it look like there's like a pattern for like a cobblestone. There's so much you can do with those things.
Oh yeah.
Pretty utilitarian piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
But here's a kind of an overall from the other quarter there. But
that looks really good. I really like that tank. Is that that tank's not Panzer Brick Labs, is it?
No, because I don't think he's made. I know he's made a few for ML, but I don't know. He might have done a commission for it. I'm not sure, but
I know they have the the Mark IV.
Yeah, they have the Mark IV. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks a style. I'm not sure. That'd be a question for Arm though.
Sandwich Jones says Camel City guys gotta have cigarettes in the mock.
What?
One of the guys in the chat said that us Camel City guys have to use cigarettes in the mocks. It's K today said he really likes the different color tracks.
Yeah,
make it look like it's like mud
too.
I would agree.
Do you know that it's finally like you don't build any kind of tanks in your mocks, do you?
I do. I did for Vietnam. And I'm planning one for the Sherman tank I have, and then that's really about it. I'm not too big into doing vehicles. Like the most I'll do for most of my builds are like artillery pieces, and if it's like something like Vietnam or Korea, I'll do like 1 or 2 tanks. But I'm not into building tanks for Mocs. I'll just build them for myself.
Do you use the Lego track links like that?
Depends. I need to order more of the brown pieces because all mine are just black. So I can't really do that yet, but I do want to order some more brown pieces for like dark, like mud or something like that.
What I was about to say is it might have been like 2 weeks ago. We found out there's a Lego set that is coming out that has white ones. Ooh. So we're finally going to have the ability to put snow on tracks.
That would be sick.
I know.
That's white what?
It's more than likely going to come out after I'm done.
Yeah, that's going to suck.
Last one I got, Milo Bricks.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty neat little build here.
I love this build. It is amazing.
I love the skeleton just chilling here.
It's a great detail right there.
But the bunker here, great techniques. Again, the dirt work. I don't have the patience for something like this.
I don't either. I spend all my patience on the layering, and then after that, it's all bets are off.
That's a lot of terrain work. I like the.
He didn't have the patience either. Look, he died on the side.
Yeah. The log work for the trench bracing, pretty neat. I like that printed 1x round tile with wood grain on the end. Pretty nice
Such
touch.
a neat little touch. I like it.
You know what I can't figure out how people do? The wording on the side of Mocs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never figured that out too. I just do brick built on like a plate. I'll just brick build on a plate with like tiles, and then that's as far as I'll go. I will never build it into the mock itself.
I told Battlefield, I was like, I'll pay you to design it to say Battle of the Bulge before I'll sit down and try to figure out how to do it.
Right.
So here's the another side. Got another skeleton hanging out here. He's got plate feet. So
Oh, and he's got a helmet too.
and a helmet, yeah.
Well, he's got to stay protected.
Yeah.
Guessing French?
Yeah, that's French.
I really like how he used those modified bricks to look like it was logs going across.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kind of looks like Harry Potter here.
Harry Potter got drafted, unfortunately.
I would say he went through the wrong what you call it, chamber.
Went to 9.5 instead of 9 3/4.
Yeah.
And then got the old Germans up here. I'm trying to figure out what this is right here. It looks like 1x2 round plates stacked, but I'm not quite sure if those are supposed to be like artillery shells.
Isn't that the wire that they used to run for explosives?
Oh,
that
yeah,
could
that's
be.
probably it. Yeah.
What
Mint cord.
is that a wand stuck through there though?
Might be. It's kind of fuzzy, so
Yeah, it looks almost like a wand, but it doesn't at the same time. It looks a little too pointy and like rounded.
this ammo
All right.
crate right here looks pretty nice.
Yeah,
George,
yeah, look good.
Whenever you're done, I've already got a complaint about this thing.
Well, I'm done.
So I have a complaint about the Mario build,
Oh no.
and I'm actually kind of upset. His arms are posable, but his legs are stuck sitting down. You can't stand him up.
That's dumb. Just
That
quit
is-
now. Send it to me. I'll
He
fix it
has
for you.
he has like this plate thing that's built onto his ass. So he sits down into the chair and it actually like clips in. But I wanted to stand. He has posable hands and posable thumbs. I wanted to stand him up, but apparently there is not a way to stand him up.
You're a mock builder.
Transformer.
You can make them stand.
Well, I don't think you could do it the way that the pants are designed.
Corey said he's not a transformer.
General Tron said mod it.
Yeah,
I would.
Do it.
just gonna have to get him to stand up.
Do it.
Come to
I can't do the Emperor. Sorry.
Do it. Do it. Do it. All right. Well, now that I've got to a stopping point, let me put this to the side. I got the cart built. Cart's
That's
dope.
awesome.
That looks dope. I like that.
That's so
Steering
cool.
wheel doesn't. You got to do a 25-point turn to get
Kill
it.
Austin Powers.
Yeah,
Turn.
there is no turning radius, buddy.
Right.
What?
Yeah, the Austin Powers cart turn.
Oh, 33 points.
And it does. The little stand's pretty cool.
Miko
I
is doing
really hope-
everything he can to help Gene build tonight.
All right. So what I
Yeah,
brought
so,
to the table.
so George, I've got some pretzels up here.
That's what he's after.
Uh-huh. Big time.
I don't blame him.
So Ian, one of the things I always do is first go over all the Lego leaks that have happened for the week.
All right.
This is another one of those dumb gift with purchases. I once again, I don't know why we're getting it. It's available right now for anyone that wants. I told George today I got on Lego just to see if they put anything new on the pick-a-brick wall. And right now they have that big fossil T-Rex for double VIP points. And that almost makes me want to pull the trigger.
That's fair. That's
I
valid.
want it to begin. I think it looks really cool. The only thing is,
Valid.
I literally just deleted so the shelves you see behind me go another 25 foot. I just deleted the entire Jurassic Park that I have and took everything apart, bagged it up, inventoried it all, and then put all the dinosaurs away. Like since they came out with like that second wave, I've literally got every Jurassic Park set unopened. I just want them for the dinosaurs, and when they go on clearance, they're cheaper than the dinosaurs cost themselves. I don't see me buying that for $250 if I'm not going to display it, so I don't know. And now that I have this, I would rather build the Bowser, and the Bowser's $250. But I got to get Bastogne done. Anyway,
Felt.
this
That's a
gift,
creepy
this
looking
gift
bear.
with purchase doesn't really do it for me. This will be something that if it comes in a pick a brick order, I'll put it in a box and send it to George, and George will give it to his wife. Next up, there's two more. There's going to be a promo for the autumn sales. I actually kind of like this. I'm not going to lie at all, but I do like it, and I actually like it better than I do this moon car. The moon car to me feels a little late.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're giving us this when all the other space stuff they've released recently is completely different. Like this reminds me of like a Jetsons like 50s style futuristic.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's not for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, I'm not spending my VIP points on either one of these, so it really doesn't matter.
Gene and I are still waiting on our flying cars that Popular Mechanics promised us.
Flying cars, I said. Flying cars.
Renee said that she thought that was crappy too. She wanted him to stand. Tron said, geez, that bear looking half like the first Friday Night at Freddy's bear. And Panzer says that snail is low-key fire. Yeah, I really like the snail.
I did too.
Need to turn it into turbo.
Yeah, the snail's cool. So, Richard, for full explanation, Popular Mechanics was a magazine.
I know what it is.
That's a publication that came out bound together.
Periodical.
The periodical.
You want me to tell you something that's actually pretty cool? And I sent the picture. Panzer Brick Labs is in here. So they sell printed Signal magazines. Signal Magazines was a German company that was printing in World War II times, and it was, of course, their side of things that was printed. It was like their Life magazine almost. I bought a bunch of their stuff to throw in the mock to show where they've, got magazines. I go to the gun show Saturday and somebody has the Signal book, and it's thick, it's hardbound, and it's all of Hitler's photographs. And the guy wanted $10 for it, so I immediately bought it.
I'll give you 20.
Deal.
It's full of I was talking to Evan about this. Evan said that he's never seen these pictures ever of like the war. Like there's pictures of towns that you can Google whatever you want to, and it doesn't pop up. Everything in that magazine that says Battle of the Bulge or book has nothing to do with anything that ever pops up online. These pictures do not exist online, and they are like in depth.
Okay, I'll give you 30.
I was sitting there. I was laughing because the buildings that I have that are destroyed show the sides being caved down and stuff. If you look at the buildings that were destroyed in Bastogne and Berlin, they were never the sides were never destroyed. The roofs and floors were gone, but the whole sides of the buildings and window frames were all there. The only thing that sucks is I told Evan that I passed up because I didn't have cash. He had a uniforms of World War II in American for $10. So he was at the last gun show. So if he's at the next gun show, I'm going to take $100 and clear him out of books. Evan said that he'll buy them if I don't want them.
You crazy kids and your debit cards. Always carry cash.
I had cash. It's what I bought the thing that doesn't come with the serial number.
Aha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But to keep going with the stuff, I guess this is supposed to fall into like ideas line, it looks really good. It is not for me because the simple fact that it doesn't fall in with the modulars. It's a little off scale. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the houses. That's about it.
Well, the one thing that really has me happy that they're doing this, because they've not done this in a very long time. They're giving us shutters.
Ooh, yeah.
And the way they have this is what it looks is they've got the 4x1 or the 1x4 window frame with the lattice pieces inside, and then the shutters look like they're connected to the 1x1 modified bricks with the clips. So we're getting shutters that attach by clips.
No. Those are 1x1x3 with clips on them.
Huh?
Where the shutters are connected,
Yeah.
there's a 1x1x3 brick that has 2 clips on it that's made for the shutters.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The modified brick with clips. But if we're getting, you got to think with the other clips that we've had, I mean, the other shutters we've had aren't put on by clips. They're all put on by the little indentations that are in the window frames.
Those
Dude, we've got those been around for a long time.
I don't think those have bars in the shutters to hook into the clips. I think they're just the little nubs, and when you press them in there, just like a snug fit.
Because the other window doesn't show, it's not the same shutters. It's like the old school looking ones. I don't know. This
Well,
is for Gene. This is for Gene to buy an inventory and let us know.
Yes.
It looks like it's packed with minifigs. I mean, it says on here it's $300, 3,000 pieces, so it's going to be pretty big. But I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minifigs in this picture, and you get a yellow banana.
Versus the green one or brown.
Next up, by the way, I put all these in order from like what I think is the suckiest to what I think is the best. Don't worry, this isn't the best for me. All y'all Lord of the Rings fans can have this. I know about it. It does nothing for me. The one thing that I hate about this entire set is when you look at this, it may look good, but what throws me off is all of these fabric pieces are going to be covering all the lift arms, and I think it's going to look hideous. I want these horn pieces, but this fire is dumb.
Sir Richard, look up 60800A.
I like the idea here, but one of the guys I follow and met at Brick Days in Omaha is making a Balrog that's probably 10 times better than this.
You said
And
60
800A.
800A?
A is an alpha.
Yeah.
That's what those shutters are.
Well, hold on. It's got like 900 printed parts with that number.
900 printed parts.
Oh, hold on. It converted to 2 and not 8.
I agree, General Tron. I like the construction of the pillars on this.
Yeah, they do look good.
Yeah, I do too.
It's about the best thing it's got going for itself.
The pillars and the beams across the top are the best part.
I don't like the flames.
Yeah,
And
cheesy.
The other stupid, well, I'm not going to call it stupid. Sorry, all Lord of the Rings fans out there, but this is more of a Lego thing. Why are we making so many bookends?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the kick is on this here lately. What
is this like some type of theme they're trying to do? Because we got the Sherlock Holmes.
That's the one I'm trying to think of.
And there's another one. I forgot what it is. But
oh, these are the only two I've seen.
No, there's a third one.
Huh.
The Hogwarts train.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a bookend, but it's not like this where it folds. It's two literal bookends, the back half and the first half of the train.
That's right.
Tron said Lego's think tank failed again. That's what happened. Bob the Super Cow said sweet. Like I said, it doesn't look bad. I hate the fire, but if this is what you want to spend your money on, because this is probably going to be $200, $300.
What I don't like is the color combination of the building on the right.
What do you mean this? The pillars?
No, the color combination of the building on the right that has the canoe or kayak hanging up against.
Gene,
The color combination is just weird. It's like coral and medium nougat.
Gene, you're like a whole thing behind.
Oh shit.
I was like, what color combination? The fact that they're using, I was like, I kind of like the fact that they're using the color differences to show the flames.
True Squad.
I'm not going to say I don't like Lord of the Rings. I like the concept of the movie. I just give me the version that isn't 3 hours long in each movie.
What about the 3.5 hour long ones?
They need to be about an hour.
Oh no.
I like my movies long.
Super Cal said that it's supposed to be about 180. Cascadia said 130. I'll make you a deal. Before I build my next castle, I'll sit down and watch the 3 Lord of the Rings and the 3 Hobbits.
I will continue to bombard you with Lord of the Rings.
Hot take here, I would not watch the Hobbit movies.
I played the game, the old game, like the original computer game.
Book is way better.
Yeah, the book is way better. I mean, the movie, the original movies are still really good, but the book is like you can't replace the book. It's just not possible.
So remember, I said that I placed these in an order that go from the suckiest, in my opinion, to the best. This is still not the best. I am not one of those architecture people. I do not buy these sets. But Gene, this is killer. You have the cathedral, right?
Yeah.
This,
We're getting ready to pour it out though.
That's perfect. The only thing I don't like about this,
I really like that.
I wish they would have made the mountains look not so blocky.
Yeah, that's the only downside for it for me.
The castle itself is perfect. And they're going to throw us these gears in here and tan again, which means they're going to drop price, hopefully. Or maybe, possibly, that piece will hit Pick a Brick. Because I'm tired of buying all the ones that Gene's put in the store. Gene, we've moved to another mock, by the way. This isn't, another set.
Yeah. I put it up there to enlarge it on the screen, and it jumped back from live to something else.
I was sitting there and I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I like that they're showing like the fire.
It's okay. I'll wear the dumbass hat tonight.
Do you need some of those tan gears?
Not right now.
Okay.
It gets to be like where I'll build something and I'll need them, and I'll go to a store and the store will have like 2 and I'll need 5. I've got.
Are they the bevel gears, Richard?
Yeah, the ones that I clear out for view.
Are they the little ones
that I'm starting on this weekend?
Those are the big ones. The little ones I have hundreds of.
I've only got a few of the bigger ones.
Oh, it's the bigger one.
Because the smaller one is, so those are all the big ones. Here's the actual like gear, and then I think right here, well, that might be the bigger one too. Yeah, so this is all bigger ones.
Are all those windows printed?
That's what I was about to say. I don't know if they did. That's kind of cool because they're all the 1x1 with like the round top. I know those are just headlight bricks turned backwards.
Yeah. I like the use of the wedge plates for the support underneath that out.
Yeah.
Gene architecture.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
And it apparently, it doesn't say anywhere, but if you look at this, it comes with the ability to put both fall and summer trees.
Yeah. That build is not that big.
No,
It
it's
looks
not. Not at
chunky
all.
because it's such a small scale.
Yeah.
Does it come with micro scale Germans?
How do you know they would be Germans?
I'm guessing by the name of the castle.
Norwegian?
Ah,
Or I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Neuschwanstein? Weinstein. Yeah.
It says Stein. It's got to be German.
It's got to be German. It's got a Stein in it.
Neuschwanstein. It's Neuschwanstein.
It's not
Any
Frankenstein.
U is noise, means new.
Well, anyway, like I said, we're going from suckiest to best in my opinion. This is something I have waited my entire life for. Not really, but I bought the original one last year at Brick Fair. Now we're getting told that we're getting a gift with purchase on the one we're getting this year. I have nobody knows what it's going to be, but we are getting a Black Pearl gift with purchase. September 12th, I'm buying this Black Pearl. I don't give a shit.
I hope it's a jar of dirt.
That'd be funny.
That would be hilarious.
That would be really.
I thought it would be cool if it was the way they have it presented in here with the yellow box art. If it was they had the big message in a bottle with the shit built in it. If this was a little one with a mini Black Pearl in it.
Jar of dirt would be cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tron Brix says it's
dark tan.
a famously huge castle.
George Richard would buy it day one, though.
Tron Brix says that castle's in Bavaria.
Bavaria?
Bavaria?
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah. There is no R.
Yeah, Bavaria.
Isn't that like the northern part of Germany?
southern.
Southern? Yeah.
Like I said, it's
Austria.
German. It has Stein in it. It's got
It's German.
I thought it said Norwegian. I'm not gonna lie. I just zoomed right past the name. It has one too many letters for me to try to pronounce. But this is something coming up. Then I'll get into Mocs. Then I told George that I cannot believe Lego is doing. Lego is stepping into the horror movie side of things, and we're getting Gizmo.
It's a Christmas movie.
I don't Christmas movie or not, there's killing in it. I'm like, out of all the brick built things they've gave us, this is pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Gizmo.
I wonder if you get they're gonna come out next year with all the angry ones.
I sure hope so.
That'd be awesome.
I'm surprised they're doing this because normally Lego won't touch anything that a kid can watch a horror movie about.
Well, they've got the smaller Gizmo minifigure from the Dimensions, yeah.
Yeah, but that was years ago. Man, I don't. If they're coming out with this, then I think we should get more. I want a Friday the 13th set with a cabin.
That'd be sick. That would be cool.
By the way, if you build that will automatically pretty much not get you on the Lego Masters.
Well, I'm already never going to be able to go on there ever with this shit.
Oh, they accepted me, and they told me to build a mock from a movie genre, and I was like, well, what about horror? And they were like, we've never had anybody do that. That's a really good idea. So I did a cabin in the middle of the woods near a lake with a girl swimming away in a boat and a custom printed minifigure, and they were like, yeah, we really can't have that. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Now to get on to the Mocs. First up, I showed some of his last week. Mr. Doug Digadome has got some more of the. I have no idea what these are. This is George's alley.
That's Tilly Deck Crane. Looks awful familiar.
Whatever you say. It looks like a crane that has 6 wheels.
Yeah, it's
Looks cool.
aircraft carrier deck crane.
So what is it used for?
Crash recovery of aircraft, lifting stuff.
Because it has to lift stuff that's big and not too heavy because it's definitely back. Like it would just tip straight over.
Nah, there's a lot of counterweight to it.
Well,
You just don't
that's
fit.
what all this
Plus,
is.
it's got a lot of cantilever on the front.
Yeah, say in between the front wheels, there's a hydraulic pad that pushes down.
Does this stretch out?
No. I'll send you the reel of the one I made.
Next up, I'm assuming some type of fire rescue truck,
I like that.
possibly.
That's really good.
He has a bunch of tractor trailers he submitted, and I really like them. The next one, I'm not sure. I know it's amphibious.
It's a duck.
That looks like the duck boats.
Yeah, to me, it looks like a stretch limo.
Yeah, it's a little too long.
But I don't know. I don't know what it was used for. I mean, it's obvious what it was used for, but is that Vietnam?
World War II.
Yeah, World War II.
Where did
Korea.
they use that at?
They used it in the Pacific Theater. I think there was some used in D-Day.
Really? Versus the normal like Higgins and all that?
I think post
Nope.
the actual invasion, they used
I'm
some.
pretty sure they used LAVTs in the Pacific and just Higgins.
Nah, they used some ducks.
Oh, they did?
Tron
Yeah.
Brix said it is D-Day. So I've never seen this before. I'm not gonna lie.
Nate had showed us one when he was on.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was only LAVTs and Higgins. Huh.
Next up is something that I wouldn't mind building. George is actually probably gonna want to build this.
Yeah.
Tractor trailer looks pretty cool.
I built a few.
I don't own one.
I would love to build one. They look fun, and I love semi trucks.
Looks like a beer truck or a
Put a
We're
beverage.
going to
Light
do different Lego tractor trailers.
Well, see, here's what I think. We stretch this bad boy out about 4 pieces, build it in black, get a little door that drops down and then lifts all the way to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Get this side skirt a little lower right here. There's potential for this thing to be a cool ass build.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how he's got the 2 1x2 wedge pieces with grill stuck in between the rear axles connected.
Here,
Yeah.
Probably a headlight brick, like a 2x2 headlight brick.
Ah, they look like they're like squished together.
yeah, they're back to back. You can put a peg in between. I mean, a pin in between them, can't you?
I don't know.
I just
Maybe.
had a bunch on
I'm
the
not sure.
table. What did I do?
Oh, there's a flower.
It's a 2x2, a 1x2 bracket with a 2x2 draw.
Oh yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That might
but
be.
you wouldn't get it on both sides like that.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, half pin fits in them.
But how do you connect the half pin up to? I don't.
You're
I'm
making it
taking
way
my-
too complicated.
I'm taking my mouse and pointing at it, but you can't see it.
Yeah, y'all making it way too complicated. I was looking to see if I had any wedge plates in here. I could do it right here. It's easy.
Yeah, I've got it done right here. Look. The only thing is I don't understand. I can do this and it holds. I don't understand how he connected it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't think that's what it is.
No,
I think it's
that's
plates.
what it is, 100%. I just don't understand how he connected it to the actual truck.
Zoom in on it.
Well, it's a bad rendering. I mean, if there is a bracket
think that-
here that hangs down, you wouldn't be able to see the shadow of the slits in the other one.
I think that's a 2x4 wedge plate,
Yeah. Kind
edge
of look
to
like
edge
this.
with another 2x4. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's what he used.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard
We
to
need a
say.
better render.
But
Uh,
Ian, you can make it even. You can make it even neater if you had the bracket that drops down, as opposed to the snot bricks.
Next up, this is one I'm bringing for George. George brought something a couple weeks ago through Star Wars.
My boys.
And this reminded me of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
That is
I
awesome.
don't even want to begin to tell you how many pieces this is or how it's held together.
I want it.
There is a lot of pieces in this. And I think my favorite part is the sand green and olive green like sludge coming on the wall.
Oh yeah. I love the curvature of the bottom of the
My favorite part's the parts usage around the top of it.
Yeah, top and bottom.
Yeah,
I really like these antennas. I don't know what draws me to that, but I will tell you that the minute that I found this, I was like, I'm bringing it, and then looked up these. I don't know what they're called, but these pieces. I think I'm gonna run these up and down one of the buildings that I'm putting in Coruscant.
those are spoilers.
Oh, that's what they are?
Yeah.
The only thing I know, I've got one that has like the Robin symbol printed on them, but I've never seen them other than that. And I've been collecting these things right here, these wheels and cylinders.
Oh yeah.
I've got 4 gallon-sized baggies down here full of different colors and different ones.
It's a 98834. And Richard, if you want them in black, we have 34 of them.
Sweet, I'll buy them. Well,
13 dark blue grays, 8 dark reds, 10 sand blues.
I'll have to look into that. Next up, we have our man Ian, and I'll let him explain to you what these are, but they're in the order that you sent. Well, why are they like this?
That is weird.
They like deformed.
What the heck?
Well, that one's not. You
yeah.
can explain this one, and I'm gonna go get the other ones back off.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm gonna guess that right there is Vietnam.
Yeah, that was the first. Yeah, that was the first part of the Vietnam series I tried doing, I guess. That was the first time I did the rice field technique with the 1x1 studs and the flower pieces. So that was fun. It took a few minutes to figure out how to do that because one of my friends did that technique, and I think he did it instead of the 1x1. He did it with the headlight bricks, and he just stuck them in and then filled like the 1x1 studs around it instead of putting it in between the 1x1 studs. But both work either way, and I think the 1x1 studs are just way easier to do and less.
I'll tell you that I just went to the email to download them again. That's how they are in the email. Because this picture is messed up, and that one is the only other one that's straight. But the other pictures are fine.
Huh.
So, do you this is something I've been talking to Battlefield about. When it comes to like figure placement, I know that me and George and Gene both really like detail.
Yeah.
When you do this, how are you connecting the legs? Are they just sitting there?
Oh, they're just sitting there. They're just standing.
Adam, this was my thing is I've seen plenty of people where they'll take like a head, put it coming out of like a Sherman, and then take the arm off and put the arm up there resting.
Yeah.
But I'm always scared, especially at a convention, how many people bump the table that it's going to mess it up. Have you had that happen to you where like somebody bumped the table and maybe this leg fall down? Because this right here is the only minifig in this section that's like not stood up straight, right?
The leg that's laying down on the ground is connected, but the leg that's sitting up isn't. So I really haven't had that problem with minifigures. It's more so less been like just free sitting or free standing parts I just have like laid around the build that will just be knocked over if the tables hit. Other than that, I really haven't had any major problems like people hitting the tables and stuff falling over, which kind of surprises me because my builds are usually not the sturdiest.
Well, this is excellent. I only got one problem with it. You built Vietnam and there's no helicopter.
I did not want to build a Huey. I'm going to be honest. I was like, nope, I'm going to build an APC, and that's as far as I'm going. I will not touch aircraft. That's
We got Haley in the chat that says, "Hey boo, what is going on, girl?" Secret Squirrel Brick says looks good. Bob the Super Cow said, "I love the old Senate clones."
oh yeah, those look good.
This picture, of course, is the trees, but
That's
this
the
one right here was
helicopter
the
coming in.
thumbnail. This is I've actually brought this one to the show before and shown off before, like I knew you were you.
Yeah.
So now that we have this here, this to me is why you were called the god of terrain earlier.
Yeah, that was
I've tried to explain this to Caden with George before. You know that they make pieces bigger than 1x1s, right?
yes. I'm aware.
Okay, I'm making sure.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, most of the pieces are just 1x3 slopes, 1x2s, 1x1s, 1x1 plates, 1x2 plates, and a lot of quarter tiles, like a lot, which I have a very big quarter tile addiction because I don't know, you can just do so much with quarter tiles and just add so much detail and layering into it because I know a lot of people will just like do 1x1 studs with some slopes and plates here, but like you put like 1x1 quarters in and just one random 1x1 tiles, round tiles too, you can get like so much detail and just like curvature in the landscape. It is really crazy. And then I also do the net technique sometimes, which that's a pain. I would not recommend it.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, I've done it like at least 7 times now, so I'm more accustomed to it, but it's still, every time I do it, I'm like, why do I do this to myself? This is not fun.
I was so when I built my castle, all the terrain was wedge plates on top of wedge plates to give it the angle down. And unfortunately, when you do that, you can't show any of the round, I guess. Everything looks like it's sharp. And Caden was like, dude, I hate to tell you this, but I need you to redo everything. And I sat down, and nothing in my terrain right now is, I've got 1x3 slopes, but other than that, nothing is bigger than a 2x2 tile. Everything that I've used has been stacking like the 1x2 curved slopes. I've got a bunch of the quarter tiles like you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the problem I found is with all the pictures in Bastogne, even like the roads that the tanks were going down, it didn't really even leave tank tracks.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple pictures that I found, especially in that magazine that I have, where they've been like, you can tell a tank was a tank slid. And if it slid or they drug a vehicle, there's a picture that I actually have that I'm like building the courtyard off of, where they drug a broken half track, and the broken half track showed like, of course, the ground tore up where they pulled it in. But there's literally a picture that like 9 Shermans and 200 troops are walking down the road, and there's not a single track at all.
Yeah, it really depended on the weather too, because it was winter in Bastogne when that happened, so the road would have been completely froze over. And if it was like summer, I could see there being like clearly left tank tracks, but winter, it's kind of hit or miss.
Definitely.
But
do you want to tell us more? I love your explosion technique, but the clouds with the smoke and all, you can have that. I'm not even going to try that.
That fire and smoke was, I am never doing that again. That was way too much braining to figure out how to do. And I kind of honestly, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted in my head with like the ball joints and the tires. But other than that, I kind of just threw stuff in there and just kind of figured out as it went. There's really no like uniform technique to building that smoke. It was kind of just at random. Like, oh, this part fits here. Oh, this part fits here. Oh, okay. Kind of built it up. So
that's the one thing that I think no matter what anybody has ever done, I never think it looks quite right.
Yeah, I agree.
Like smoke is like the explosions with the popcorn pieces are perfect. Like those look good when they use them, showing like the smoke being ejected out of the tank barrels and anything. Like they all look amazing. but when it comes to like actual smoke pieces, I don't know.
It has to be willy-nilly. Like, it has to be random. It can't be uniform, because if it's uniform, then it just looks way too like unnatural, I guess.
What is this?
So because that build's like a direct copy of the painting. That's, I'm pretty sure, supposed to be a German soldier holding his surrender flag, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I see it now. It's just at a weird angle.
Yeah, it was just at a weird angle, but if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that's what it was supposed to be. And like pretty much all the minifigures in the build are correctly placed to the painting. I mean, obviously there's some that aren't, because it's Lego. You can't get everything correct, but I try to get all the minifigures placed correctly as they were.
It looks really good.
Yeah, and then
That's crazy that you modeled it after a painting.
Homeboy back here is having an amazing day. He's taking a nap.
he's taking a nice dirt nap.
He got all this stuff going on, and he's back. Look at George.
Yeah, it was a fun build to do. I'm thinking about doing something Argon Forest related again, maybe Bella Wood, but that build, I've been wanting to build that painting for probably 5 years. So when I decided I was going to go to BrickCon Atlanta, I was like, well, my fort's not going to be done for it. That's a Brick Fair thing. So I might as well just throw this together. And it was supposed to be a 148 by 48 base plate, and then it kind of expanded a little bit.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's what they get you.
It's supposed to be really simple, and it turned out to be almost the size of Port Arthur, which I was not expecting, but I'm not complaining.
I would like to see a Bella Wood mock.
There's been
one of the only battles I really know.
Yeah, there's
That's
like but they haven't really been that good, honestly.
That flag looks more like a flag in this versus straight on. I get what you're doing now.
Yeah. It's literally just like bandage tape just wrapped around a Lego flex tube.
I have
around
really
his face.
Huh?
Does he have some around his face too?
Yeah, in the painting, he had like a bandage like wrapped around his head. So that was kind of what I was supposed to represent.
I will say Battlefield Bricks gave me the insight on these little rubber bands.
You can do so much with them. So much. Like, the possibilities are endless.
I'm about to go through my next fate. I've only built 2 Shermans so far, and the 2 Shermans have 0 equipment on them. They're literally just like Shermans that are going inside of the Bastogne portion. When I start building the ones that are going out in the snow,
yeah,
I'm gonna attach so much to them.
Yeah, that's what I did for my APC in the Vietnam build. I just threw built like I don't know, boxes and just random stuff onto it, make it look like it was used and worn.
But yeah, all these look really good.
Yeah, the only thing I'd really change about that build is the trees. Because there's technically supposed to be all dark green, but I want to do flex tube trees, and there's really no good what do you call them, like the leaf pieces in dark green. So I kind of just said, well, whatever.
Well, they just came out with I don't think it would look right on here. Well, it might on these. They just released that one by that long swoop down, because that's what I'm doing mine with.
Yep.
I'll send you I found a design online. I'll have to send you my actual. Do you use Studio at all?
No, I just build. I don't use Studio at all.
So I was about to say I got a Studio build of the tree. It's kind of hard to explain, but I've taken somebody's design where they built it with 1x1s and increased it to 2x2s.
That's actually I would like to see that.
Kennedy is wondering what your process with coloring the terrain is.
Ooh. That's a good question. I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing. Because for the Brick Fair build for this year, a all the pictures are in black and white, so there's really no good idea of like exactly what the color train is. But I mean, if you build enough military and like terrain, you kind of have an idea. But for the painting, it was kind of purely just basing it off of the color grading of the painting itself. So everything you see in that picture is color graded from what the painting had color graded. If that makes sense, I guess. But when it comes to mashing colors together, I usually try to have like a decent section where it's one color and then it slowly kind of fades into the other color with some blotches here and there. I don't know. It's all kind of just pretty random. And if it's based on a painting, I usually just try to color grade it to what the painting was color graded at, you know.
It looks really good because you went from like normal green to olive. There's some sand green in here. Then like there's dark tan, there's dark orange, there's nougat, there's normal tan for the sandbags. I think everything color wise, like you use the whole palette, but it looks really good.
Yeah, that one I really wanted to spread my wings when it came to like the parts usage and like the colors I could use with it, because if you look at the painting, it's super colorful. So I was like, I want to use all the colors that are in the painting, and I want to try to get it as smooth of a transition as possible so it doesn't look like super blotchy, you know.
I paused Band of Brothers and was like, how dark is the ground compared to like the grass underneath his compared to his uniform?
Yeah.
And I just went with mine's going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm using olive green and sand green and dark green for the leaves on the trees. Other than that, it's all white.
Yeah. I mean, for me, what I've noticed from doing all my terrain building and stuff like that over the years is that when it comes to like it's pretty easy to figure out certain color palettes for certain areas. So like the Argonne Forest would be like technically it should be dark green, but I didn't want to use dark green because I thought that kind of looked way too weird. But when it comes to like forests, your color palette is usually green, olive green, dark tan, brown, nougat, dark nougat, and maybe dark brown. That's usually like the 7 colors I would always pick to build a forest. And then when it comes to like World War One, it would always be dark tan, brown, and
I've always used dark brown as mud and reddish brown as wood.
Yeah, I do that too. Except for certain specific battles, especially in World War One, like Verdun. I know a lot of people like to use dark tan for Verdun, but it actually should be technically brown or dark brown. Because Verdun, unlike the Somme, because the Somme was a very, it was farther north and it wasn't in a forest, because Verdun was technically in a forest. But the Somme would have a color palette of dark tan. Verdun would have a color palette of brown and dark brown, which is funny because everyone swaps the colors when they do each battle, and I find that kind of funny because like you see a Battle of the Somme build and you're like, it's all dark brown, and then you see Verdun, it's all dark tan, and you're like, huh, those colors should be swapped.
You could write a book on terrain techniques.
I really could. I'm not going to though. I would lose my mind.
I like probably going to be corny. I like the crater the most of all out of the entire build.
Oh, I love that crater. The two where the guys are hiding in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so fun to build. I love doing like collapsed trenches with craters. Those are so fun to build because you can basically do whatever with it.
Most craters I've seen start off with like a 6x6 open bottom and then just kind of like squarely stair step up with like a 1x1 cheese slope, maybe a 1x1 plate. It's pretty uniform. That right there, going in every which direction.
Yeah, I try to use like every which way I can get a brick to move or place down. And
this is going to sound weird to the people who may not understand it. Do you? Because they're going to think there's only one way to do this, but there's not. Do you build from down up or from up down? Like in this right here on the blowout right here, did you create Like you're like, all right, this is going to be the lowest spot, or did you start up here where the mountain was, where you knew it was the highest spot and went down?
Usually down up, but sometimes I mix both. It depends on what I'm doing and where I want it to go. Because I always have like an idea in my mind of where I want it to go and how I want it to be, and so it'll depend if I want to start up and then go down or down up or do both at the same time. If that's a good way to
Because like the way George said, kind of like mine isn't exactly built that way, but what I did was I found the bottommost part that I wanted, and then I actually built down like most of the way and then built up to meet it. That way it wouldn't be uniform and I wouldn't find myself copying the same thing the whole way down.
Yeah, for most craters, I do that too. But for those specific ones, those kind of a mixture of both. But for the most part, when I do craters or like trenches, it's usually down up. So.
Oh, those are great cannons. Artillery pieces, my bad.
I still got them sitting over there. They're big Russian howitzer cannons. I don't remember the exact model name, but they were used during that siege of Port Arthur and World War One. So got used for them on this next build.
All the sand green. That's net, isn't it?
No, that's a very interesting technique I figured out how to do. Let me kind of give.
Is that connected?
It's. No, I don't. Real quick, I should have a part. Give me 1 second.
And then it's another shot of the Vietnam build.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy. I got to go to bed soon.
Yes, sir. Well, you
You guys have fun. It's been fun learning all this stuff tonight.
Like I said, there's a whole other method to thing. Like, I don't know. There's a bunch of different methods people use, and it's pretty cool to see how a lot of people do the same style of build in different methods and what the outcome is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
ground texture on this is crazy.
Yeah, the way I did the terrain is I can't find the piece right now, but you know the Technic ball joint is kind of like this, but instead of clicking, you snap it into a ball joint and it can like swivel around and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
mix
So what I
joint.
do
We've got a ton of those.
is I just slap a plate on it and then I layer the plate and then I angle it to the way I want it. And then sometimes I'll use just a regular like this piece and just slap it down and have it like slanted. And then I'll just mix in with the net and then some brick build, layering. And that's how I got that terrain pretty much.
I was going to say the angle of the slopes you can tell is not just straight pressed down.
Yeah, no, it's all on like Technic ball joints and hinges. It's all super wacky. It was such a pain to build, but man, it came out amazing. Like that's probably some of the best terrain I've ever built and probably will ever build. Period.
It looks really good.
That's really awesome. Well, guys, I've had fun tonight. It's been awesome learning all this and seeing the cool new techniques.
Yeah, no, I had a great time.
Have a good evening, Dean.
Check us out, Ian. Message me and I'll get you a coupon for a discount if you need anything.
Sweet. I'll definitely hit you up.
This right here is one of my favorite. I've brought this before, actually. This was one of my favorite builds I've ever seen that you've done.
Really?
Yeah, I really like this. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for ruins. Anything.
Yeah,
that's
me too.
I don't know. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that was a interesting one to do. I'm debating on doing Warhammer again because it's like no one ever builds it, and you can do so much with Warhammer. I mean, there's
it's hard to find the pieces for all the fake, like the pieces, like to make them look like crazy Space Marine stuff like that. It's not easy.
Yeah, that was the big problem. And I found a dude who did custom printing, so I had him custom print all the Kriegsmarine. But that's the biggest thing holding me back from doing more Warhammer is finding someone who would, one, even do it, and two, in the quantity I would need it for, and for the size I want. Because no company really does Warhammer at all. And that kind of sucks because they can make bank off that for sure.
So I got a question for you on your building. Like when you're building this wall right here,
Yeah.
do you throw all your pieces in a pile and just grab random, or is everything separated and you're just choosing it as you need it?
New parts, I organize them. Old parts, it depends. They're either sorted or they're not, or it's a mix of everything. So, because what I'll usually do is once I'm done with a build, I'll kind of just leave it in the box and then pick parts off of it for what I'm building. And then new parts, I'll just organize and just have the parts all organized. So when I need that, I can just pick it off. But it's kind of a mix of both.
I've been, when I built my castle, I had made a whole bunch of different like pieces that I was using to actually build the walls, and I threw all of them into just this massive box and shook it up, and then went from there so I wouldn't just be having any kind of habit. So, and I made myself whatever I grabbed, I used. So if this level wanted to meet this level, but I grabbed a piece that would stack it up to here, I would put it somewhere else until I grabbed one that I knew was flat.
I do that too sometimes.
Not gonna lie, I think I saw this on Instagram and was gonna screenshot it to show on a show one night, and I think I either didn't email it to myself or just went along. It was a great build.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was like, and that was a weird build too, because I took a 2-year break from building, and then that was like the first one I built when I came back, and I built that in like a month, maybe, just for Brick Fair. So it was pretty rushed for me, but I mean, I think it still came out pretty good. There's a lot of things I've changed now because I was like 2 years ago, but it's still a good build. I like it.
It's amazing how when you build something, if you come back to it, like even in 2 months, the difference you can make it by you coming up with new ideas or new techniques.
Yeah, I'd agree. There's a few things looking back now that I'd probably change on Lost Battalion, but I think overall that's still a pretty solid build. And I don't think that I really need to change it even a few years from now, unless like some crazy new parts come out.
Well, I just told George, and George didn't know, when I placed this pick-a-brick order that I'm sorting right now, the 1x2 curved slopes are now in translucent light blue, translucent green, and clear.
Oh, wow.
So that's like little things like that, like makes me like when I can go back through and make these window pieces. They also do these weird they got both of them, but the like 1x2.5 tiles that are cornered.
Oh, yeah.
They make both of these in clear now.
Nice.
Get out of here.
So it's
that would be great for water, like beaches or something like that.
I know. I built an entire like 15,000 piece water scene using 1x2 tiles and plates, and now like every part possible exists.
Yeah, pretty much. Now that really makes me want to do like an Iwo Jima build or something, which would be sick, because then that would give me an excuse to use my black parts for something other than a black border.
It would give me an excuse to use Lando's figs.
That's fair. I do want to use his figs one day, and that'd be like the perfect build for that.
But we have went past the time. We do need to end it, I guess. We already lost Gene because Gene's the old folks home tends to get a little cranky if he doesn't get in bed by a certain time.
We're getting to that point here.
I'm good till about 2 a.m, but most of
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, I can stay
20
up
years
there.
ago I could.
I mean, I'm not 20 years younger than you though.
I'm high mileaged.
Hey, I'm the 50,000 mile car that was owned by the grandma car that got traded in.
Yeah.
But it is that time. It has been fun. I enjoyed meeting you, Ian. We
Yeah, for sure.
definitely need to get you on again. I can't wait, especially now knowing that you're going to be, because I didn't know talking to you that you were part of like the Panzer Brick Lab crew until today. So
I wouldn't say I'm like a part of their crew. I'm really good friends with most of the guys behind the scenes. But I usually run with Caden and his crew and all the Rebel Lab guys. But I do know them pretty well.
Well, Caden comes on the show almost once a month. Caden, we normally try to grab once a month just to hang out. Every time that he comes on the show, George thinks that he does something. Last week we got him to drill through a piece of Lego.
You know what's funny? He was asking me if I did that yesterday because I was using these little half stud parts. These guys that have the holes in them.
Yeah.
And he saw the whip I posted on Instagram, and he's like, "Did you drill those?" I'm like, "No. What are you talking about?"
I told him that I have a whole bunch. All my buildings are built on like mainly 16 by 16 plates. And I told him I was tired of trying to figure out ways to because my building is modular, so I have it to where the buildings sit on the mills, and I got tired of finding a way to try to connect them and hide the plates. So I was like, well, these mill plates have been there for 3 Mocs now. I'm not ever not going to use them. Like the next Moc's going to have the same mills plates. So I drilled through the middle of the 16 by 16s.
Oh.
And he was like, dude, why would you do that? And I was like, he did not he was against it. So George came up with a good idea that if the stream had like 20 likes or something, he had to drill through it. And it happened pretty quick.
That's funny. That's funny.
We've corrupted young Caden.
Caden is there's some stories in a group chat. Caden, we've ruined Caden's innocence.
Oh, Brick Fair's done that to him, I think, a little bit too much.
Well, y'all haven't taught him enough because me and George are still having to teach him things.
Oh, really? I need to get on his ass then about it. Start whipping him into shape.
Every thumbnail that has Caden in it has something that's really perverted or something like that hidden in it that we've tried to explain to him what it is. And we'll just be like, look, Caden, Google it. And then he immediately like, why do I listen to y'all?
Yeah, sounds like Caden. Sounds like something.
So if you go back and look at the thumbnails with Caden in it, there's something in almost every single one of them since George has been on.
I'll have to go look through them again. I need to find those.
The best one was this week or the last week.
Last week.
Yeah, he looks like he's 12.
And has no soul.
Yeah, has no soul.
That might as well be a ginger.
Well, that's for a different story. But y'all take it easy. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be back next week. We'll be here once again. Take it easy. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over.